Hello and welcome to Penang, my new home, the YouTube channel to help people who are moving to Penang, whether from other states of Malaysia or from other countries. I'm sorry that I've been so busy with my other channels that I have no time to create more content for this particular channel, but I am here today, and in today's video we are going to look at Tanjong Tokong. Is Tanjong Tokong an ideal place for you to stay if you are moving from other parts of Malaysia or if you are from other countries? So I will give you a rundown of where is Tanjong Tokong and how Tanjong Tokong is like. And I hope that with the information that I'm going to share with you, you will be able to make an informed decision. Aside from this introduction on Tanjong Tokong, we are going to go into my website, Penang Travel Tips, to get an overview of the place. And then we are going to visit iProperty to look at property prices. And finally, we are going to visit Bricks to look at transactional prices. That is to say, price of properties that has been sold in Tanjong Tokong. So, to start, Tanjong Tokong. Is it a good place for you to stay? As a native of Penang, having stayed in Penang my whole life, let me introduce you to this place. So, Tanjong Tokong is located to the immediate north of Georgetown. Until the 1960s, this is a very laid-back place, and this is where people put their the things that they don't look at most of the time. And so, this is in Tanjong Tokong. This is where you find the big Chinese cemeteries. So, a lot of the space in Tanjong Tokong is taken up by the big Chinese cemetery, and the name Tanjong Tokong itself is based on the name of the Chinese temple, the Tanjong Tokong Tuak Pekong Temple, which predates the establishment of Penang itself by Captain Francis Lai. But this whole area was a seaside area that includes the village of Bagan Jermau. But from the 1960s onwards, it starts to develop, and there are more and more houses built there, and nowadays it's a vibrant suburb or neighbourhood of Georgetown. Tanjong Tokong can be considered one of the more upscale neighborhood, so property prices there, you can expect it to be higher than other parts of Penang. Okay, so because this is where a lot of foreign expatriates as well as retirees choose to make it their home. So if you are a foreigner coming to live in Penang, you will find that you will be living in close proximity with people like you. So it is very easy for you to network and make friends with people who are sharing your same interests or having the common background. So that's one plus point about Tanjong Tokong. Another thing is there are supporting industries and services for these people. So for example, there is the international school that is nearby. In Tanjong Tokong itself, there is Stonyhurst International School, which is just next to Andaman Resort Condominium. So this is just one of the places, and there's supermarkets and hypermarkets. There's Lotus Hypermarkets, and then there's Sam's Groceria, and the shopping mall there would be Island 88, as well as City Junction and Straits Ski. So yeah, there's a lot of amenities for people who are living in that area. What is the downside of living in Tanjong Tokong? Well, it's the same as elsewhere in Penang, which is the traffic jam. So the traffic jam on the main road, which is Jalan Tanjong Tokong, is very bad, especially during rush hour. And for myself personally, I really dislike the alignment of the road, because the lanes would disappear and there would be bottlenecks and so on, and this contributes to the jam in Tanjong Tokong. There are two main roads to go to Tanjong Tokong. The first one is Jalan Tanjong Tokong, the main road itself, and the other one is the Mount Erskine Road. In comparison, the Mount Erskine Road is very narrow. Yeah, so one is very narrow and the other is very jammed. So in either case, living there, you have to endure the jam. Whether you are living in the most expensive condominium in Tanjong Tokong, you will still be facing that jam along Jalan Tanjong Tokong. So that is one of the negative points, but jam in Penang is commonplace all over Penang Island. And as I go through every neighborhood, I will point out the spot where you can expect traffic congestion. And now we are going to move on to my website, and I'm going to show you more about Tanjong Tokong. So let's move over there. Hello everybody, now I'm at the Penang Travel Tip website and we are going to look at Tanjong Tokong. If you do not know how to get here, I'm going to put the link down here so that you can access it directly from your computer and you don't have to search around for Tanjong Tokong. And so this is the write-up on Tanjong Tokong, and you will find all the information on Tanjong Tokong here, including there's a map here. I even have a song on Tanjong Tokong now. Okay, there's a map here where all the sites in Tanjong Tokong is marked with description. So all you need to do is to click on it and then you can get the description of all the sites as well as all the properties in Tanjong Tokong. And eventually I will also be describing the Andaman Island. So this is Tanjong Tokong, and the condominiums and apartments in Tanjong Tokong are all listed here. So if you're coming to Penang to stay and you want to do some homework on where to stay and what the condominium is like, you can come over here and then find any which one that interests you. Or if you look in iProperty and then you see the name and you want to get more information on that property, you come over here and then you select one. For example, Santorini, you just click to go in, and here you will then get the information on the property, the price, the amenities, the traffic situation, and so on for that particular property. So you can get from my website all the information on almost all the properties all over Penang. And this is the ones for Tanjong Tokong. So we just click on Tanjong Tokong to get back to the main page on Tanjong Tokong. So details are all available here. All the streets in Tanjong Tokong, if you are going to stay in a certain street, you are given a street name and you want to do a research on that street, then you can come over here and find out about that street. And here I will be describing that particular street and the information on that street. So in Penang Travel Tips, Tanjong Tokong page is very, very detailed. All the information that you want on Tanjong Tokong is here. Petrol station, markets in Tanjong Tokong. There isn't really a market here. This is incorrect. The nearest market will be the Mount Erskine market. And then the schools in Tanjong Tokong are listed here. Commercial properties such as Fetistan, Precinct 10, Prima Tanjong, The Bayou, Wisma Binjol, and so on are all listed here with information. So it's all clickable. Hotels in Tanjong Tokong are listed. Chinese temples in Tanjong Tokong, malls, Hindu temples, churches, public parks, and so on. All the information that you might want to know about Tanjong Tokong ahead of living there. But my recommendation is to do your homework before you decide where you want to stay, so that you can make informed decision. And I'm providing you all the information that you would need to make informed decision. So this is all the information on Tanjong Tokong, and next we are going to head on over to iProperty to look at property prices in Tanjong Tokong. So everybody, we are now in the iProperty portal and we are going to look at property prices in Tanjong Tokong. So for Tanjong Tokong is in Penang. I'm going to put Tanjong Tokong. So this is how you will search for Tanjong Tokong. And then I'm going to look at prices of properties starting with apartments. Apartments in Tanjong Tokong. And let's do a search. And I usually start with lowest price. What's the lowest that you can get for an apartment or flat in Tanjong Tokong? And it would be 115,000 ringgit for Pangsapuri Tanjong Tokong. And then Puncak Erskine is going for 140,000 and so on. So this is for sale. These are prices of properties for sale in Tanjong Tokong. And if you are planning to buy here, of course buying, if you are a foreigner, this price is too low for foreigners. But this is for people from other states who are planning to come over to Tanjong Tokong and perhaps buy a property here. So this is the price on the low end of the scale. On the other end of the scale, let's go from the highest. Okay, the highest here is Costa Villa is 840,000 from Cristio, and then 650,000 for Desa Tanjong. 840,000 is 2 plus 1. 2 bedroom plus 1, maybe a utility room that can be converted into a bedroom at 1,550 square feet. So at 1,550 square feet, it is 561 ringgit per square foot. So when you are purchasing, over here in iProperty, it will show you the price per square foot also. So the most expensive for an apartment or flat is 870,000. Now let's continue to Tanjong Tokong. Let's see the price of condominiums and service residences in Tanjong Tokong. If that's what you are going for, and let's go with the lowest price. So the lowest for a condominium is Leisure Bay. Leisure Bay is quite central, and in my opinion, this is something that can be considered at 360,000. The lowest price you can get for a 700 square feet condominium at Leisure Bay. And from Leisure Bay, it's easy for you to walk all over the place. So at 360,000. And then this one, 370,000 at Tripinnacle, is in Mount Erskine, which is slightly further in the hills, but it is much newer compared to Leisure Bay. So the price is 700 for a 700 square feet apartment is 370,000, which works out to 528 ringgit per square foot. So these are all on the low end. Indah Bay is going for 390,000, and this is also quite central in the Pekan or town center of Tanjong Tokong. Indah Bay again at 410,000. So Indah Bay and Leisure Bay, these are all quite close to the central part of Tanjong Tokong. Santorini is going for 430,000 from SK Chung, 850 square feet, and is 505 ringgit per square foot. So those are on the lower end. On the upper end, there's the Sky Home 20,000 square feet from Bilite at 15 million ringgit. So these are the high-end condominiums. It has 10 plus 5 bedrooms. I'm not sure who wants to stay in something of this size. There will be a specific person who needs something like this with 20 car park lots and 20 bathroom. So this is almost like having 5 different condominiums lumped together as one. And then Quayside has one for 7,000 square feet and going for 8.8 million ringgit, 4 plus 1 square foot, which is 1,257 ringgit per square foot. So the upper end is here. Let's see the average of the upper end is around 8 million ringgit. So you can have an idea, the upper end is around 8 million ringgit or 8.5 million ringgit. So if that's something that you're going for, then this is the price that you can expect to spend. And all these are, most of them are at Andaman. Let me say Andaman, or Sky Home is on the non-reclaimed land, whereas Andaman, these are all on the reclaimed land, which is on Bandar Seri Penang. But nevertheless, these are some of the choicest properties in Penang itself. So these are the prices that you can expect. And finally, let's look at also the price of landed properties in Tanjong Tokong. Let's go for landed now. So let's say a terrace link or townhouse in Tanjong Tokong, and we are going to start with lowest price again. So you can see here, I always show the lowest and the highest price. So even if you do a feature on the iProperty website, I might not be showing yours because I always go and I am showing the lowest and highest price to give people an idea of what is the price range that you have to spend. So over here are what we call the townhouse. So again, as I've mentioned in earlier videos, the definition of townhouse in the Malaysian context may be very different from what you would know in elsewhere, in other places of the world. In other places of the world, a townhouse is just something like what we would know as a shop house, where the whole thing belongs to a single occupant. Whereas over here in Malaysia, a townhouse has somebody staying below and somebody staying above, which are two separate units. So that is the Malaysian definition of townhouses. So townhouses are like apartments in in the Malaysian context. And therefore, the price reflect that also. This is the price of, you can say, an apartment in Tanjong Tokong. So you can expect it to start from about 550,000 ringgit for a townhouse with a built-up area of 900 square feet and a price of about 611 per square foot. Interestingly, townhouses are lumped with terrace houses because they are very close to the ground. However, in my opinion, townhouses is actually more towards apartments rather than a proper terrace house. But nevertheless, you see here, they are all lumped with terrace houses. Now, let's go to the other end of the scale and look at the most expensive of the landed properties in the as terrace houses. Okay, we have Amaris Terrace. This is in Bandar Seri Penang. It's going for 4.8 million, 5+1 bedrooms with 6 bathrooms and 2 car park space. One thing you can say about having landed property is the number of car park space might not be as many as if you were to stay in a condominium, because there's limited space in front of the house for you to park your car. Whereas if you are staying in a condominium, a luxury condominium with the comparable number of bedrooms, you may get more than this number of car park space. So at the top end, these are all the places in the Sri Tanjong Penang neighbourhood. Yes, this is a reclaimed land, but nevertheless, it is very close to town and is one of the choicest neighborhoods in Penang. So you can expect that the price is hovering around 3 point something, of upper end of 3 and around 4 million. So those are the property prices. And now we are going to repeat the exercise with properties for rent. So if you are not buying, you are renting in Tanjong Tokong. Let's look for property for rent in Tanjong Tokong. And again, we are going to start with apartments and flats. So I'm not going to use default. I will start with the lowest. So the lowest of the low will be 200 ringgit. I think this is possibly just a room in this Kayangan Puri Mutiara or Pearl View Heights in Tanjong Tokong. This is an apartment in a hilly part of town. So this is the lowest that you can get. For a whole apartment at Puncak Erskine is going for 550 ringgit, 680 square feet, which comes up to 81 cents per square foot per month. Puncak Erskine also 650 ringgit per month. Puncak Erskine again 750 ringgit. So you can say that Puncak Erskine has the lowest property prices in terms of rental in Tanjong Tokong. And then comes Crystal, Taman Crystal. So if you ask me to compare Taman Crystal to Puncak Erskine, you will see that Taman Crystal is closer to town compared to Puncak Erskine. So you get what you pay for. Over here is 900 ringgit, whereas over there is 850 or 850 or even lower. So you get what you pay for to stay closer to town. 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, and 1 car park lot. So, and Taman Green Evergreen at 900 ringgit. So most of these are the older properties in Tanjong Tokong. And to see the newer properties is most likely from the higher price. So on the higher end, at Desa Tanjong is 2,800 ringgit per month. You get a 2,000 square foot apartment or condominium apartment, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathroom, and 1 car park lot. So on the upper end is 2,008 or 2,500 at Sky Ridge apartment. So these are apartments, not condominiums. So it will have limited facilities compared to condominiums. And this is the upper end of the price for apartments. So what about condominiums? Let's try condominiums. Let's do lowest first. So the cheapest condominium is I Santorini. Yes, I Santorini started off as an affordable housing project. However, it is a condominium and you can get this 150 ringgit is a room. 400 ringgit for a room there fully furnished. 400 ringgit at I Santorini. You have shops down below, so it is a very convenient place to stay. But as in my introduction, everywhere in Tanjong Tokong, you will have to face the two main roads, which is Jalan Tanjong Tokong and Mount Erskine Road, and both of them can get very congested. So, I Santorini appears to be the most inexpensive condominiums in Tanjong Tokong, followed by Tri-Pinnacle at about 800, 850, 900 ringgit for a 650 square foot apartment, condominium. So 1,000, there's also one at 1,000 ringgit at I Santorini. So when you go property shopping to rent there, look at the properties. So see, sometimes it's whether it's high floor or low floor and what is the view. Because all of that will determine what price the landlord is going to charge for that particular property. So this is on the lower end of the scale. And on the higher end of the scale, we have Andaman's Quayside, which is actually within walking distance of I Santorini. And I think this is incorrect for rental. This is for rental. This looks like prices for sale. So I'm going to scroll out of here to see. I'm looking for prices for rent in Tanjong Tokong. Surely you are not going to rent out 3 million ringgit per month for this. So this is all, I believe, possibly incorrect here. And this is possibly the right one. So all these are all for sale price. These are all for sale price. But for some reason or other, perhaps the person did not submit the form correctly, and as a result, instead of going into the sales section, it goes into the rental section. So Quayside condominium is the highest among those for rental at 7,159 square feet, 2 plus 1 bedroom, 4 bathroom, has its own private little deep pool or swimming pool, 15,000 ringgit per month, or it comes up to 2 ringgit 17 cents per square foot per month. Andaman Quayside, 15,000 ringgit also, 4,200 square feet, 3 bedroom, 5 bathroom, 2 car park lots. And so 15,000 is on the upper end of the scale for the condominiums, followed by 12,800 for city residents. So city residents is right at the heart of the pekan or township of the town center of Tanjong Tokong. Let's go to the next page. Okay, so those are the price for rental in Tanjong Tokong on the upper end. And next is the service residence and the terrace house and the townhouses. So if you're renting and you want a townhouse or a terrace house, the lowest price you can expect is 1,500 ringgit. So these are all sometimes it's contiguous between Tanjong Bunga and Tanjong Tokong. I will do a separate video on Tanjong Bunga. Tanjong Bunga will be slightly further away than Tanjong Tokong, but they are almost contiguous, so sometimes it overlaps. So sometimes properties in Tanjong Bunga appears in this listing for Tanjong Tokong as well. As for Mount Erskine, I would regard the whole of Mount Erskine as part of Tanjong Tokong, and so it is also regarded as such in iProperty. So the lowest price for rental of a landed property is 1,500 ringgit, and then it rises up to 3,000 and so on. On the upper end, for landed terrace houses, is 8,000 for Seri Tanjung Pinang Straits Quay. 2.5 stories terrace or link house is a corner lot at 5,969 square feet, or 8,000 ringgit. All these are in the Bandar Seri Tanjong Pinang neighbourhood, the Seri Tanjong Pinang neighbourhood of Tanjong Tokong. So that is the most upscale neighborhood of Tanjong Tokong, and as such it's reflected in the prices that you see here. And so now that we have seen the prices of properties for sale and for rent, I'm now going to take you over to Bricks to look at the price of properties that have been transacted. So let's move on over there. And finally, let's look at the price of transacted sub-sale property in Tanjong Tokong. By the way, the word sub-sale is a local term here to mean secondary sale. And for using Bricks, the spelling for Tanjong Tokong is Tanjung. Tanjong Tokong. Yeah, not Tanjong, but Tanjung. And we are going to go to residential here. The Bricks portal is a bit slow today, so I had to cut off a portion while we are waiting for it to load. But nevertheless, we have just loaded Bricks, and we are now going to look at the residential properties in Bricks. And it's not really arranged in alphabetical order. It's like almost all over the place, but this will give you an idea if you are planning to buy in Tanjong Tokong. Here are the different projects or properties in Tanjong Tokong, and they offer us the median price. So median price means the center point between the highest price and the lowest price. Just now when we are looking at iProperty, I showed you the lowest price, I showed you the highest price, but here in Bricks, it's showing you the median price, the center point, which is neither the highest nor the lowest. And it will show you how many transactions was carried out between June 2023 and May 2024. So you just go over here and you can get some more details, and this will help you know how much is those apartments, in this case the condominium, the iSantorini condominium was sold over the past period. So these are the dates and the size of it, 3 rooms, price per square foot. So the price units there have been sold between 470 and 540,000. So that is iSantorini. And by doing your homework over here, you can you can gauge the market for the past. These are actual sold properties in Tanjong Tokong. So this will give you some idea, and in future videos we might drill into specific properties. So there we are, everybody, the information on Tanjong Tokong. I hope that what I have put together will help you make an informed decision of whether Tanjong Tokong is a right fit for you to stay in Penang. But a few inputs that I can give you is that if you are going to be coming to Penang to work, and the place that you are working is perhaps in the Bayan Lepas industrial area or in the mainland, you are going to have to face the long commute from Tanjong Tokong to Bayan Lepas and back. In particular, the traffic situation during the evening rush hour is quite bad. So if you are coming to Penang to stay, I would recommend that perhaps you might consider a place that is nearby to Bayan Lepas if you are working in Bayan Lepas. And we'll do a review of Bayan Lepas in a future video. But that is my recommendation for you to consider. If you are a retiree from overseas, then Tanjong Tokong, on the other hand, might be a very nice place because all the amenities are within reach. It's all within easy reach. So those are the things that you can consider. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them below. And if I can help you make some, give you some information on Tanjong Tokong as well as other places in Penang, I will try to help you there. And once we are done with the videos on specific neighborhoods and townships, I will go into videos on specific properties. Until then, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, give this video a like so that YouTube will show it to more people, and subscribe to Penang My New Home YouTube channel, and I'll be seeing you again in the next video. So thank you very much.